Oh, hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show. Now, this week, I want to talk to you about the Skyliner Tip. So, now, for those of you who don't know, never been to Disney, first of all, what have you been doing this whole time? But also, if you haven't been there recently, again, what have you been doing? The Skyliner, the gondola system that opened back in 2019, you can use it to get to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, or either the Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, or my favorite, the Art of Animation Resort. Sorry. Anyway. So, the best way to do it is, now, they're not letting more than one party on a Skyliner at a time right now because of the pandemic. But it is a good place to not only get a bird's eye view of Disney, but it can also be used as a nice, chillaxing thing to do in between going to the park or going back to your hotel or vice versa. And it's also a great place to just relax and just look at everything going on, and it is breathtaking, especially at night. I've seen videos of at night Skyliner rides, and it is breathtaking. So if you're ever at Disney, and if you're ever staying at an Epcot resort, and going to Hollywood Studios or if you're at Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, or again, my favorite, Art of Animation, I highly recommend using the Skyliner. It is one of the best ways to get around Walt Disney World. In fact, it challenges the monorail. It's that good. So, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, as we all know, Disney has some amazing attractions. Very amazing attractions. And yet there are some attractions that seem so amazing, and yet they never come to fruition. So, this week, it's time for the top 5 close calls. Attractions that Disney did not build, but were so close to getting off of the concept pages. So, at number 5 is Muppet Studios. So, way back when Disney was still back in the early days of the Disney's MGM Studios, now Hollywood Studios, they had plans for an entire Muppet land, not just Muppet Vision 3D, but an entire Muppet Studios land. And it was supposed to not only feature Muppet Vision 3D, but also, get this, the Great Muppet Movie Ride, which is a Great Movie Ride counterpart, but with the Muppets in those particular movie scenes. That would have been awesome to see, but unfortunately, it was around the time when Jim Henson passed away, so unfortunately, we never got to see the whole land, but we were able to, the park was able to have 3 Muppet stage shows. Here Come the Muppets, which was where Voyage of the Little Mermaid is now, big mistake, an outdoor Muppet show with full-bodied Muppet characters trying to make a movie. People kept saying that that the show stank and it only lasted like less than a year. and of course, Muppet Vision 3D, which I hope Disney does not touch. It is a huge fan favorite and one of my favorites. I have a video of it coming up in the coming weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Now, number 4, the Toontown Transit. It was supposed to be on Sunset Boulevard, I think, right where I think it was supposed to be where a Rock and Roller Coaster is now. It was was supposed to be a Roger Rabbit themed ride where you board a crazy bus and you go through the wild and wacky streets of Toontown. That would have been a very fun thing to ride. That would have been pretty cool. This was back when Roger Rabbit was popular. I sincerely hope that we see more of Roger Rabbit in the future, because as I don't think we would have a Hollywood experience if not for the success of the Roger Rabbit movie. That's my opinion, anyway. Anyway, so at number three, Epcot was supposed to have so many great more stuff in the World Showcase. Way more stuff in the World Showcase. In fact, Spain was highly considered as an upcoming pavilion for World Showcase. This was recently considered, like 5 years ago, as a World Showcase, to become a World Showcase pavilion. Back when the Walt Disney Studios were working on a movie based on Jack and the Beanstalk called Gigantic. Unfortunately, the script for the movie was scrapped, meaning Disney threw away any and all plans to build a Spain pavilion. All right, number two, as we all know, when Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Cosmic Rewind opens at Epcot in about a year or so, it will be Epcot's very first roller coaster. But that would not have been the case if they didn't scrap number two, which was supposed to be a roller coaster ride through Mount Fuji in the Japan Showcase. Now, that would have been Epcot's very first roller coaster. That would have been amazing. But, of course, they didn't have a lot of space for it, I don't think. So they probably just put in that shop in the back of the pavilion. Although, I do hope Disney goes back to this idea, because it would have been awesome. And so, number one, and I think every single fan of Animal Kingdom will agree with me on this, Beastly Kingdom. So, back when Disney was working on what else to put in Animal Kingdom, they announced this amazing expansion, Beastly Kingdom, where you enter the world of mythical animals. And it would have been divided in two sides. One side light, one side darkness. The main attraction of the light side is a maze where you walk through a magical maze, and at the end, you get a meet and greet with a unicorn. That would have been cool. And on the other side, the e-ticket attraction on the dark side of the land would have been a roller coaster ride through a dragon's lair. Again, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately, Michael Eisner said, nope, we're not doing that. Instead, but that area is now where Pandora, the world of Avatar, is now. But as Animal Kingdom continues to look on ways to expand, maybe they'll come back to this idea of a Beastly Kingdom somewhere else within the park. It would have been, I think it still has potential. And I think in another universe, Beastly Kingdom is the most popular ride at land at Animal Kingdom. So anyway, that's my top 5. Let me know in the comments if you have know of any close calls that Disney should have built. And now, let's get into some breaking news. So, the CDC has new guidelines, and starting May 16th, Disney will take out all temperature checks in front of the parks, hotels, restaurants, so forth, because things are slowly starting to get back to normal. And I think that's great, because we'll get a little bit normal, and Disney's starting to hire more cast members again. Hopefully, we see this as an opportunity for them to bring back the citizens. Hopefully. They will. Why am I saying hopefully? I know they will. Also, they'll start reducing social distancing from 6 feet to 3 feet, which I think is perfect. That's a good move to make. And also, starting today, you no longer have to wear a mask outside, but you do still have to wear one in the shops and when you're in line for rides and when you're riding the rides, obviously. So I think this is a good thing that Disney's doing because we are getting back to normal. This is, I think, is the home stretch. I think we have made it to the end of this weird and wacky roller coaster ride called the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think as soon as things get back to normal, everything's going to come back. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I can feel it. So, that's this week's show. Again, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now, for this week's shout-outs, make sure you check out my friend Taylor at Tremaine at Disney. She does amazing videos and live streams. Make sure you check her out. Also, check out my new friends at Oh Snap Productions. They are filmmakers that make short films on YouTube as well as parodies and memes. Make sure you check them out. Also, make sure you check out my buddy Micah Barnaby at World of Micah. He does great vlog videos around the state of Florida. Check him out, as well as my friends Robert and Brandy Sabal Family Vlogs. They do great videos and live streams on both YouTube and Facebook, and they are now official Disney cast members. Congratulations to them. Go to their Facebook page and YouTube and congratulate them on becoming cast members. And as always, for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out my good friends over at Attractions Magazine. And until next time, have a zippity-doo-dah day.